All right, we're going to remove the headliner for the 2019 model on the Sprinter 144. It also works for the Sprinter 170. So we start up here on the A-pillars, and there's a little cap. So the top side of the cap is the part that has the little latch, and the bottom side actually has a tether. So you're going to approach this from the top and unlatch it. And you basically just give it a little bit of a push down, it'll disconnect. The bottom is tethered. Do not force that out. Just let it hang. And then you'll use a T27 star bit to back out this little bolt. Once the bolt is loose, you can get your fingers on it and just give it a quick pop as you work your way down. And that releases the A pillar, and on the bottom you kind of just give it a little twist and a pop and the whole thing will come out. And you can set this up on your dash or outside of the vehicle. But now this is gone, which leaves the front of your headliner easy to pull out. We'll move on to the B pillar because we want to remove the B pillar next. And we start by removing the top bolt and one of the D-rings at the bottom. All right, so we start with the little hook up here. And again, we just use the pry tool on the very bottom of it and slip off the rubber cap, which reveals another little star bolt. And that is a T20. You back that out and put it someplace safe. And move to the bottom here where you have the D-ring. So the D-ring is removed with the T45 and just back that guy out. On the 2019s, all of them that I've seen so far have the bolt directly attached to the B pillar for the seat belt, and so we're using a 17 millimeter ratchet to pull that guy. All right, once you remove the seatbelt bolt from here, the bolt is captured, so you don't have to worry about parts coming off. We will end up slipping it through the hole on this B pillar. With the seatbelt removed and the D ring and the hook, this B pillar now is just held on by the clips. So we do the same thing that we did on the A pillar, where we get behind it and we give it a little pop. Quick little bursts are better than slow pulls. You want to move your hand down the B pillar to where you're parallel with the next clips. And as you move down, once you get parallel with them, you just give it a pop. So it is now free floating, and I'll be able to slip the seat belt through the hole. And on the 2019s, this does not remove, it stays a part of the B pillar. And the last thing to notice is there's two clips that are just hooks that go into these holes right here. So the last bit after it pulls away, you give it a little tug up and it's fully free. So I'll move over, I'll do the same thing that we did on the driver's side to the passenger side on the A pillar and the B pillar, and then we'll move to take apart the visors. Okay, after we remove the A pillars and the B pillars, we're going to move on to the visors here. There are 4 bolts in the visors. One bolt goes up onto where the actual visor lid attaches on the front and the back. So to get to the front one, you have to pull it forward, and your bolt is right in that hole there. And the back one, you'll move it back into a forward position, and you'll unscrew it from back here. It's very visible, you can see that one easily. The other 2 bolts are from the side. One of them has a cap over the back of it, so we'll pull that cap off. It's just an easy easy rubber plug, and it's a T27 star on all 4 bolts. It'll slide back, and you'll kind of want to rotate the front. If you can see the top, as I rotate it, it kind of unwinds and pulls back away from the metal there. So that's how we're pulling off the visor to release it completely. After your visor is removed, the last thing you need to remove before you remove the headliner itself is the airbag cover here. And it's a whole, in the 2019, it's all connected into one unit. This trim actually comes off and hangs down for you to get the visor out. It makes it a lot easier. The trick to getting this out is, I learned this from Mammoth Vans up in Seattle, and basically use a screwdriver and push up and rotate out with it. So you're pushing pressure like this. There's actually a little hook that looks like this, so when you push up and rotate it back, it unhooks from the connection. And now it can just pull out of the way. And we just let it dangle there until we pull the headliner out, and then I hook it back up while I do my work. So we've done that for the passenger side. We're going to do the same thing to the driver's side, and then we'll show you how it all comes out. Okay, to release the headliner, you've got 5 different clips here, well, 4 actually on this, that are holding it to the rib up here. And what I do is I use either a screwdriver or a little forked pry bar, and I hook it and release them out. I would be careful not to pull just yanking on it, though it's effective and it works, but this material will distort and it will keep that distorted shape. So I generally tend to be fairly delicate with this side of the slide liner. In doing this, you will lose some of these clips, inevitably. The plastic is fairly delicate, so don't worry too much about it. Just make sure you have a replacement for it. If you don't have any replacements, then make sure you get underneath the skin and you're very, very delicate with how you remove it. So, once those 4 clips are removed, the slide liner slips out. So just to tidy the area up while we work and make sure things aren't vulnerable, I just put a zip tie around this and connected it to the hole up here, and so it's just not dangling on its own wires. And then on the airbags, even though they are held up right here, everything should be just fine. I generally like to just hook these right back over the top and hang them back where they are while I work, and then I just remove them when I go to put the headliner right back in. So it just keeps it from yanking on wires that shouldn't be yanked on.